Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex. Presented by G2G Bars.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. That's a bright, poppy, happy song. I love it. If you met our producer, Alex, you would think, is he 48 years old? Is he 61 years old and is working in his garage?
You rocking Billy Joel all the time?
Listen, where's the Billy Joel coming from, Alex? Oh, no. Say, I've always been a huge fan. I celebrate his entire catalog. That's what you have to say. You do it from there. Bottom line is, welcome back to the program. Thanks for being with us. Our program brought to you by G2G Bars. It's the protein bar that doesn't quit. It's amazing if you want to do meal replacement, if you want to do a boost throughout the day for that protein hit. You got yourself the G2G bar found in the refrigerated section in Costco, Holiday Oil, Maverick, Associated Foods, and many other places in the refrigerated section, as I said. Let's get to the cut right here. It's brought to you by Trajan Wealth, your local trusted financial fiduciaries. Visit their website, TrajanWealth.com. Mike Folta is the radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Hockey Club, and he joins us right now on the program. Mike, thanks for being with us, man.
JJ and Alex, I am opening up my Utah collegiate recruitment. As you guys know, I'm from the Midwest. I am opening up my recruitment. If anybody would like me to be a fan of their Utah team, I am now open to any NIL deals.
Wow.
I was in Logan last night watching the Aggies beat the wheels off the Colorado State Rams on the hardwood. Great atmosphere.
Was that your Spectrum experience?
Was that your first trip to the Spectrum?
Spectrum Magic.
First trip to the Spec, and I was falling in love. It was outstanding. So the 247 or Rivals.com, whatever your recruiting site is, the crystal ball indicator right now is leaning Utah State. But I am open to any and all offers.
Don't sleep on the Utah Valley Wolverines, currently first place in the WAC.
Also, I will say, 2 stars suits you. I think that was really great. You got the 2 stars from the local scouts. That's good. Mike,
2 stars.
Look, you could be Josh. Hey, Josh Allen was 0 stars. You think you're better than Josh Allen? That's fine. All right, it's okay. I was listening to your call on Sunday. I was kind of mixing between the radio and the TV side of things. You know, we were prepping for Super Bowl stuff, and so I was in the car for part of it when they were up 4-2, and then the Caps made it 4-3, and I went, you guys, please don't do this to us. You've done it to us too many times, and the Caps are too good of a team to let kind of melt down. But Karol Vejmelka was phenomenal, and even though they gave up that 4th goal to send that thing to overtime, he was lights out in that extra frame. And I'll tell you, listening to it and watching it, that was some exciting hockey right there and a great way for this club to get sent into the break.
Oh, my gosh, it was fantastic. I mean, you said it, against the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Washington Capitals. You have them on the ropes, right? But this Capitals team has more comeback wins than anybody in the NHL this season. So you know the Caps are going to make a push. They have the great Alex Ovechkin, who's just, I think, 16 goals away from breaking the all-time NHL goal-scoring record held by Wayne Gretzky. And Utah hangs on. You mentioned Karol Vejmelka, Veggie, as he's commonly referred to. He comes in cold. Connor Ingram gets hurt in the first period. Veggie had given up 6 goals the day before in Carolina, and he just pops right in there. He didn't even take any warm-up shots. Like, a bullpen pitcher comes in, they get 6 or 8 warm-up pitches or something. Veggie just came in cold off the bench and was fantastic. He goes 3 of 3 in the shootout against some of the most skilled players in the world, and he gives Utah 2 points that it needed to stay in the playoff race.
They played really well that last week before Four Nations. When they come back from Four Nations, are you bullish or bearish on their Stanley Cup playoff hopes?
Well, I'm a team employee, right? So I'm not going to say I'm wilting on it. But here, I'll give you 2 reasons to be, Ted Lasso from the Apple TV show pointing at the Believe sign. You've got a couple guys who are out with injury right now. Sean Dursey, who's been out since the 4th game of the season, and he has the non-contact jersey off. And he's been skating at practice, and he was on the last road trip with the team, just kind of getting used to being around the guys again and trying to get that locker room chemistry with him. He's a huge piece on Utah's blue line. And then Logan Cooley is going to be reevaluated after the Four Nations break as well. So don't have as clear of a timeline on him. But you've got two big pieces right there in Sean Dursey and Logan Cooley, who you could be getting back in the lineup in the coming weeks here, hopefully, which will be huge additions to this team. And Dursey is so versatile; he can move the puck, but he also wins his battles. He has great vision up the ice and in transitioning from your own zone up to the offensive zone. He's a great skater, and he's going to be a huge addition. It's going to be like adding a guy via trade after this Four Nations break for Utah to get those two guys. Utah's right in the mix. I mean, they're 3 games out right now, and we got a lot of road left to cover.
Mike, one of the things that we're interested in, and again, the trying to make up ground when you're far enough behind, the biggest deal is going to be taking on teams like Vancouver, who are right in front of them in the standings and stand in the way to be able to get there. And so they have a couple more games against Vancouver. They steal those, and then you have a big time flip-flop possibly in the standings. And so, but you can't just look at it and go, well, you just got to beat Vancouver and that's it. How does this team turn the corner in this next part of the season here? Because you got about a third of the year left, and you have a lot of hockey still yet to be played. But those points sometimes, even if it's 6 or 8 points, it feels so tough to be able to overcome. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I mean, you don't want to be, 6 to 4 points out in the last week of the season. It's going to be pretty tough to come back in that situation. But, I mean, you mentioned Vancouver. That's Utah's second game back from break on Sunday the 23rd. It'll be at Delta Center at home. I think, to answer the question, I think what this team needs to do is start to rectify that home record a little bit. We've had some great moments here at Delta Center over the season, but if you look at the body of work so far, Utah's below 500 here at home, and what I think has been one of the best home atmospheres in the NHL. I mean, Dylan Guenther scored in the last second of overtime in Utah's last game, which came last week against the Philadelphia Flyers. And that game, all throughout, it felt like a playoff game. And that's what we're going to have against Vancouver coming up on Sunday the 23rd. So that'll be a ruckus atmosphere. And one thing I've noticed too, guys, is that this Utah crowd is starting to there's more awareness in the crowd. I think in the first few weeks of the season in the home game, I think everybody was just kind of happy to be there. We're learning. We're taking in the sights. Okay, this is what the NHL looks like. And now that people are invested in the team and invested in the players and getting to know the players through social media and digital content, now the fans in the building, it feels like they're aware, like, guys, we need these 2 points. And so that's been kind of fun to see from a growth perspective of this of the fan base. But I think the biggest thing is continuing to piece together 60-minute efforts. This team has been, struggling at times over the course of the year to put together 3 periods, but they've been better over the last couple months at that. And so continue to put together these performances against top caliber teams where you're controlling possession, you're controlling the shot volume, which Utah did against Carolina and Washington last weekend, 2 teams where they're usually the ones writing the script of the night, and start to rectify that home record a little bit.
Before this break, we started to see some really good play from Josh Doan. And obviously we know he had to start earlier in the season, had to make a trip to the AHL, but since he's been back, he's just getting better and better. What do you notice about him and his game, and how important is he going to be to this team in the final 2 months of the regular season?
To be honest with you, he plays like he's the son of a former NHLer. His dad, Shane Doan, obviously played a lot of years in the league, but he's not the fastest skater, but his details with his stick are unbelievable. He's an excellent defensive forward, and he wins a lot of battles, even though he's a young guy. He maybe isn't as big and strong as some of these burly veterans, but he is crafty with his stick, and when he's confident and when he is authoritative with the puck, he's good offensively as well. We saw this a couple of games ago where he had the puck at the side of the net, and a lot of guys would have just shot it, even though they're kind of walled off by the goalie. There's no shooting angle, but Josh knew exactly where the next play was, and he found Lawson Krause in between the circles for what ended up being a Utah goal. It was a heck of a play, and I think Josh Doan in this year is going to be a player where his numbers, his goals, assists, and points don't really tell this whole story because he does so many of the little dirty things for Utah. But I'm excited to watch him develop. They sent him down to the minor leagues during the break. I think that's just for him to continue to get more touches. I wouldn't read too much into that. I think he's going to be part of this team, part of this push the last couple of months. That's just a guess because he's played well.
One of the things, Mike, that's interesting is trying to figure out from an injury standpoint where this team's going to sit after the break ends. What kind of ground are they going to make up when it comes to getting guys back on the ice?
Like when they get guys back from injury, what kind of push do you think they're going to make?
I mean, how much of an impact are the guys who are out right now going to be able to make possibly in the ending third of the season?
Well, Sean Durzi is one of your three best defensemen, right? So that's going to be a huge re-addition when he comes back. Logan Cooley, don't know his status right now, but I mean, if he were to come back in the next couple of weeks, that's one of your leading scorers right there. So you're getting one of your best defensemen and you're getting one of your best forwards back. And for Cooley, he also plays that center role, and we had seen him on different lines throughout the year. But with his speed, he's kind of like almost like a Tyreek Hill type player. He can take the top off a defense, and he can force those safeties back, right? He can force the defenseman back because of his speed and skating, creating more space for his teammates. And he can score, too. He's not just a skater, not just a passer. He's got a great shot as well. So you're talking about two guys in Durzi and Cooley who, when they come back, will factor in not just at 5-on-5, but at on special teams as well. You'll probably see Durzi on the penalty kill when he's at full speed. And probably on that second power play unit, and then Logan Cooley would be on that first power play unit. So those are two guys right there that are lugging a lot of minutes and will be huge factors moving down the stretch. And if they can be healthy and if they're at 100%, Utah's got a great chance to make the postseason.
Well, the reason that the Utah Hockey Club doesn't play till the 22nd is because of Four Nations. It begins tonight, Canada versus Sweden in Montreal, 8 o'clock on TNT. What is it about? What are some of the storylines with Four Nations coming in that you find the most intriguing, and who do you think is the favorite to win this tournament?
I think the U.S. is probably the best team front to back. Of course, Utah's captain, Clayton Keller, a lot of people thought he should have been on that Four Nations team for U.S., but was a bit of a snub, and he made sure that he let the Team USA general manager, Billy Guerin, know about it by scoring against Minnesota the other day. Billy Guerin, also the GM of the Minnesota Wild. So Keller, making his presence known against the Wild, saying, hey, you should have taken me on this team. But I think the U.S. from front to back is loaded. The U.S. is not going to have its signature defenseman in Quinn Hughes. It's been announced that he's going to miss the tournament, which is a pretty big blow by the U.S., but there's still so many big, rangy defensemen back there. And then you got the best goalie in the world on Team USA in Connor Hellebuck. And so it's like, they're a bunch of all-star teams, right? I think Finland has probably been decimated by injuries the most. And we did learn earlier that we're probably going to see Utah's Olli Mata and Utah's Juuso Välimäki playing on a D pairing together. They're two of the Mountain Blues representatives in this Four Nations tournament for Finland. But I love Team USA in this, although I did see the power play unit for what it's going to look like for Team Canada. You got Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Sidney Crosby, and Sam Reinhart, who scored 50 goals last year. So it's like pick your poison there on the Canadian power play. But I think Team USA from front to back is the most well-constructed.
Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Hockey Club, joining us here on the program, as he does on a weekly basis. And we, of course, get to hear the smooth tones of him on the radio calling these Utah Hockey Club games, and we're looking forward to it. Mike, thanks for hanging out with us today, man. We appreciate it.
Again, any NIL information, it's at Mike_Folta. Send all your offers my way. We'll be in touch.
Oh, well, listen, at the very least, you got to do a food tour of all the schools before you make your final decision.
Okay, I was told to try the ice cream. Ice cream at this time.
Everybody's got. Well, listen, BYU and Utah fight over who's got the best ice cream, which is great. And then,
Hey, Aggie ice cream's right there,
look,
man.
You got to go. You got to. Here's the thing: when football season rolls around, Mike, and I know that's tough because it's right at the start of hockey season, but at the front end of the football season, you got to catch a game at Maverick Stadium up there in Logan. You got to catch a game at Lavelle Edwards Stadium down in Provo. You got to catch a game at Rice Cycle Stadium in Salt Lake City. So all those are going to be those are must-sees, man, on college football days.
You're making it seem like I'm going to make my decision off of what's the best crowd or best atmosphere. This is strictly a financial decision.
All right. There you go. All right.
Okay.
Mike Folta, open for business.
We know what's most important to you, Mike. Okay.
Hey, you're just like the players these days. Show me the money, and then I'll be there. I love this school. Ever since the check cleared, I love this school.
Yeah. And maybe the next year I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, you'll love that school too.
Mike, we appreciate it, man. Have fun watching these Four Nations games. We'll chat with you again.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go, Mike Folta. I was looking at the, and Mike's a young dude, but the picture that he has of him calling these games on his go to his Twitter profile. It's easy enough to find. It's just at Mike_Folta, and he looks 15 years old.
Maybe he is.
Well, listen.
You haven't asked him how old he is.
Yeah, well, he's the one who said he's got college eligibility for NIL money. Maybe he hasn't even reached college age yet. We don't know. So there you go. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back when we do. So much more to chat about. So stay here. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, JJ and Alex, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us today. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, you can hang out with Jake and Ben on Friday at the RV show, 10 to noon at Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. It's your opportunity to shop, compare, and buy the best RVs in the biz and the RV of your dreams. So we'll see you on Friday, the biggest event of the year for RV enthusiasts at the RV Super Show at Mountain America Expo Center there in Sandy. We're going to be there tomorrow afternoon, so you can get double dose. Get out there early, check it out, and then go back and say, honey, I found it, and then take her back and then make that deal happen. Let's go. Let me see here. Kellen Moore, it's official. JJ, he's going to be the head coach of your New Orleans Saints. I get it. You got to take a job. You got to take the head coaching job when it comes up. You don't know if it's ever going to come back.
Right, you're right. You're not going to turn it down an opportunity.
The more I look at it, I go, look, and when you're the head coach, you have the chance to build kind of a staff around you. I know that Brandon Staley was in discussions possibly too, his former head coach, when he was at the Chargers, and that might be a big pickup. And so if Kellen Moore could turn things around with how much of a mess it is, the expectations are going to be pretty low, which is what you want to walk into. I think at a place like New Orleans.
But if you've got cap problems and you don't have a quarterback that's a future, and all these other issues that the Saints have, it's tough to be successful. And sometimes it might be better to wait. Like Ben Johnson with the Lions. He skipped a lot of job offers last year. He decided not to go. Well, for whatever reason, he felt like the Bears was the right situation. I think a lot of it had to do with Caleb Williams. But sometimes it's okay to wait. And I wonder if Kellen Moore should have gave it one more year, gone back to the Eagles, ran it back like Sirianni wanted him to.
Yeah.
And win back-to-back Super Bowls, and his stock would have gone even higher.
Will you tell me what this beef is between Steve Smith Sr. and Cam Newton? Two former Panther greats.
I'm on Team Steve Smith.
What's going on there? What happened? So Cam Newton goes on and blasts the Panthers for being quote-unquote losers.
Yeah. That didn't sit well with another guy that was in that locker room.
Right. Obviously.
Who went to a Super Bowl with the Panthers before Cam Newton got there.
Mm-hmm. And I get it. You want to pretend like you're the one who changed everything and turned everything around. I get it. But, yeah, kind of rough. But, yeah, 53-man locker room was 52. It says 52 losers. Wow, that's breaking news to number 89, Steve Smith wrote on X.
Not good.
Crazy. All right. Those hats. I wish I had the guts to wear the hats that Cam Newton does.
He has some very bold
I'm going to start doing
wardrobe decisions.
I'm going to start doing it. We get these cameras rolling in here. I'm going to get some Cam Newton-esque hats just to really make a name for myself.
It's a good way to kick off our video broadcast.
Let's do it. All right. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. When we do, get you ready for the Utah Jazz Coming up at the top of the hour, you got pregame Jazz Lakers tonight. Stay here, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up the hour with our picks for the best and worst moments on today's show. As JJ and Alex want to hear your best and worst of the day.
All right, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone. Yes, it is that time of the show for us to get you ready for the Utah Jazz taking on the LA Lakers tonight. Pregame firing up here in just a couple of moments here. And our program, of course, is as always brought to you by the Doug Smith family of dealerships. An incredible selection of Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, or now the Mitsubishis in American Fork. So there you go. JJ, let me just ask you this. Who scores more points tonight? Lauri Markkanen or Luka Doncic? Both probably going to be limited minutes-wise, right?
Luka.
Okay.
I think he got 14 on Monday. Maybe gets a little bit more minutes this time around. And I think he's going to be a little bit more dynamic.
I'm going the other direction. I think Lauri Markkanen's going to be like, this is my house, bro. This is my house.
I hope so, because
and I don't get to do this very often
the
this
effort
year.
the Jazz put out on Monday night was not great.
I'm going to think you're going to get a 30-plus point game from Lauri tonight. That's my guess.
Okay.
All right? That means they got to play him more than 20 and a half minutes, so let's go. Joining us in studios for the final time today, the folks at Culligan Water. You want to get to know these guys. Colson Firmage, his family's been doing business as Culligan right here in the state of Utah for a long time. Kent's been helping us understand some of the technology that goes along with the water softener, the home filtration system. I'm this close to having these guys come out and have to do all this stuff for me because I described basically going, hey, when the water comes out of the tap, I love to get that clean chlorine smell to make me feel like it's safe, right, guys? And you're like, probably not good. There are a lot of people out there like me, though. Their water might smell like chlorine. They might have something, or the water just stinks in general, or it tastes funky. That's a good indicator to just say, hey, let's get something taken care of here.
Yeah, they might not know what's going on with their system, right? I mean, we talked, and you don't know if your system's working or not. I would imagine there are a lot of other people out there that don't know if their water softener or their drinking water system is really working properly or efficiently. So let us come out, let us do a free water test, let us do some consultations with you, talk about your water filtration, talk about what your needs are, your family's needs, your pets' needs. Everybody under your household deserves good, clean water, and we can do it at a really, really affordable price.
Yeah, we talk about drinking water being, really important. You can tell when it's not good, right? But another thing about hard water in this state is maybe people can't tell what that's doing to the inside of your house, so you can't see or smell or whatever. The importance of a water softener in the state of Utah is just you can't state just how important it is to have one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The home is an incredible asset, right? We want to take care of it. The appliances in our home, those things, we want them to last, right? Best way to make sure that the working water in your house running through those appliances, it's got to be soft. We can't have all those minerals calcifying inside those appliances and ruining them before they need to.
Last moments for us to be able to give you this phone number for today to get that free water consultation. Just have them do a water test. Come out to the house, check it out. But you can get $500 off of that water softener if you do end up going with this Culligan system that is the best and the top in the business. $500 off a water softener, plus you can get free salt delivery for a year. Don't miss out. 6 months, 0 payments. 801-509-9602. Call them for that free water test right now. Just let's get this thing going and see what the situation is at your house. 801-509-9602. That's 801-509-9602. CulliganSLC.com. Guys, thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for bringing the water.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be back again, of course, tomorrow. JJ and Alex delivering on a Thursday. We're going to be at the RV show, so we'll see you then, everybody. So stay tuned right here. Jazz basketball next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.